Hey guys, it's Doc. So here's something I wanted to talk to you guys about and see if you had any interest or not. Not that I have any control over it, but it's just an interesting topic that kind of popped up in my mind a few minutes ago. Would you like to see Miracleman, The Dark Age be finished? I personally would, because I really enjoyed the Alan Moore story and the Totalman artwork, and even Gary Leach, Alan Davis, Chuck Beckham. I enjoyed that first 16 issues of that title. And then I enjoyed what Neil and Mark Buckingham did with the second part of that, the Golden Age. The Silver Age was a little bit more of a letdown. It was almost like Neil and Bucky played it a little too close and a little too safe. So it didn't really have the revelations that I thought that it would. Now, it set up what I thought it would, where we're going to have Kid Miracleman is now an enemy instead of a friend. So I did kind of see that coming. But the Dark Age is supposed to be the finale of the Miracleman epic. And it's supposed to be Act 3 of 3. I would like to see that finished. I know that Neil Gaiman is persona non grata now. I know that he has been canceled pretty much officially, 110%. I know that he is not the one that's going to finish it. And I know that Bucky was working on it, and then once the allegations came out against Neil, that Bucky washed his hands of the project. But I would still like to have that closure. I've always been, since I'm interested in psych, and I've had a few bad relationships here and there over the years. I need that closure. I want to see what Marvel and what Mark Buckingham can pull off with this project. Because I have faith that even though if Bucky is working off of some of Neil's groundwork notes, Mark Buckingham in and of himself is a very acclaimed creator, and one that I trust to do what is best for the characters, despite what might be going on in the lives of the other personnel that were involved in this project at one point. So, what do you guys think? If there is a chance for the Dark Age to come out without Neil Gaiman's involvement, just from, maybe an overarching story perspective, but with Bucky doing all of the writing, all of the drawing, all of the heavy lifting, with like a special creator, a special assist blurb put in there with Neil Gaiman's name at the end of the book or something. Would you guys like to see that? Or just because Neil couldn't act right, couldn't do what he needed to do, couldn't be a responsible person, does that need to kill the third act of what could have been the greatest Miracleman epic of all time? I really think that without all of these distractions, and I think that without Good Omens, without Sandman, with all of the television stuff gone, I really think that Neil could have put together the grandest epic of all. And I really think at one time he could have pulled that off. I still believe that Mark Buckingham could pull that off by himself. It may not be on the same cosmic scale, because that's just Neil's realm more so than Mark. But I really do believe that it could be worthwhile, and it could close a chapter that some of us have been waiting 35 years for. It would create that closure so that we could move on to bigger, better, brighter things. But like I said, I want to know in the comments, are you guys excited to see this ever finished? Do you think that Marvel will ever finish it? Tom Brevoort has already come out and said that Marvel does not have any future projects at this time with Neil Gaiman. Now, should Neil Gaiman's name stop being dragged through the mud, and he is at least partially exonerated for some of these actions, that might open that door again at some point in the future. And we still might get the finale of this three-parter. So that being said, would you rather Neil give it a couple of years and see if the heat cools down on him and then try to finish it? Or would you rather see Bucky do the whole thing, because Buckingham doesn't have those same sort of clouds hanging over his head? He doesn't have things like that in his personal life that are keeping him from being the best creative possible. I would rather see either one. Either one. A long time ago, it took me a while to get behind giving Robert Kirkman money, because I found out that he was an atheist, and that goes against my personal beliefs. But at the same time, I came to realize that I was enjoying the story, and I wanted to see how it finished. So, did I give a little bit of money to an atheist that believes differently than I do? Yeah, I did. Because I wanted to see where he was going with the story. Now, were there blatant parts in there that he was kind of mocking my faith system? Yes, there were. But I was willing to overlook those particular aspects of the story and look at the larger narrative. Now, I'm not saying that if Neil did what he has been accused of, that we should look at the larger narrative and say, you know what, he was a good guy before that. Nobody knows his heart. Nobody knows whether he was a good guy before that or not. Based on the fact that Amanda Palmer divorced him and some of the other things that have come out, maybe he wasn't a good guy. Maybe he wasn't a great guy. Maybe there was more to that Calliope story than we know. Because some writers can't help but hide behind their creations. Thinly veiled creations at that, but still hide behind their creations. But anyway, I didn't get on here to talk about Neil Gaiman as much as I did to talk about Miracleman. So like I said in the comments, let me know, guys. Like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know down below whether you'd like to see this epic finished, or should we just leave it as is and everybody just kind of come up with their own devices and their own stories and their own ideas about how it would have finished had things gone a different direction. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. You have helped me grow this channel and give me a place to talk about what I love most, which is comics. So I hope that you will come back and join me for future videos. In the meantime, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.